The year is 3012 and Earth is running out of oxygen. While a good percentage of the population, say 20%, will survive, it definitely won't be enough to sustain the entire population. So the world's governments have come together to nuke a nearby planet, creating an atmosphere enough to give 100 million people the ability to relocate and recreate for a small cost. As Time's most ethical person of the 3010s, you are given the special right to press the button and launch bombs. But just as you're about to press the button, your manager rushes in and informs you that extraterrestrial life has been discovered for the first time on that planet. If you release the nukes, they, a population of 10 billion, will all suffocate to death, suffering for around 10 minutes. Do you press the button? Regardless of your answer, you probably had to take a second to think about it. But if there were no aliens, it would be a no-brainer. That is what an ethical dilemma is, having to make a hard choice on what is quote-unquote right. Is it okay to sacrifice 10 billion aliens for 100 million people? A new discovery. The aliens are extremely smart. What do you do now? If you decided to save the aliens, you might have a utilitarian framework. Your choice depends on what will create the best possible outcome in terms of utility. Those aliens might be able to make something that helps restore Earth, while humans are too stupid to figure out how, and that's why it's wrong to kill the aliens. Now, utility may be a hard thing to decide. Most utilitarianists base it off of the amount of pleasure versus pain that an action causes. Some will base it off of remaining lifespan, some will base it off of intelligence, but ultimately, everyone will have a slightly differing view on utility. So while utilitarianism at its core is supposed to be objective, you might find that it can be quite subjective in practice. A shocking twist. Your doctors have said that your body is not capable of living on this earth for much longer. If you don't kill the aliens, you're dying. What is your decision now? If you now decide to kill the aliens, you might have an egoist framework. Egoism says that the most moral thing to do is to serve oneself. You can still help others, such as the other 100 million with you, but at the end of the day, every action has to end with your benefit. While you may find egoism to be a selfish ethical framework, egoism has some good arguments against that view. Firstly, rational egoism states that there are many cases in which a person can benefit themselves the most by helping others. Secondly, psychological egoism claims that everyone is an egoist. If you look at all the actions you've done, is there any action in which you have not benefited even emotionally? Psychological egoism claims that most acts of sacrifice are done for that feeling of accomplishment one feels. Now think of it from the other point of view. What if aliens were trying to nuke Earth, but you could stop them, causing them to die? Would you do that? According to the Golden Rule, which I'm sure you've heard of, you should have the same answer as before. The Golden Rule is a virtue, which is a correct middle ground between two vices, such as stinginess and prodigality. A person who follows virtue ethics attempts to possess, and more importantly practice, a set of virtues. Unlike the other frameworks, there's no need to calculate outcomes, as a truly virtuous person will naturally do the right thing. As a person exercises their virtues, they may practice eudaimonia, which consists of activity of the soul in accordance with perfect or complete virtue, according to Aristotle. Eudaimonia is an end goal and is defined by a person's consistent action. Now let's come back to the present. And while you aren't contemplating decimating aliens, think about what ethical frameworks drive your decisions.